talking about, so how can we, let's say minorities, how can they help themselves? Because if you've got all these labels on you, how do you maneuver? How do you deal with the police? How do you deal with authorities? How do you cope in life, really?
Here's the thing, right? Where we go off rails there is by saying as minorities. As minorities, we're talking about a whole group of people. Yeah. The one thing that we need to understand as human beings is that no group is a monolith. The way I think is different from the way you think. We're both black, but the way I think is different from the way you think. Our environments are different. Yeah. So with a question like that, I can only speak for myself. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And all I can say is I will continue being who I am and
Mm-hmm.
doing the right thing
Mm-hmm.
because that's how I've always been. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But that doesn't guarantee that things will work out for me and people will see me in a positive light all the time because that's not how it works. I've been stopped and searched 3 to 4 times already in nice clothing too, in a suit. It doesn't
Yeah.
matter.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't matter. I could smile like this every day. Hey, how you doing? you know, it doesn't matter
Yeah.
because you are going up against another human being who has a preconceived idea of who you are
Yeah.
or your people. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So you can't do anything about that. All you could do is live your life to the best of your ability. The other people that decide to um, do crime and whatnot, yeah, they're doing their thing. Some realize that they're doing the wrong thing and they change their ways. What they do is no reflection on you, on me, on their next door neighbor. It's only on them, that individual.
That's
And
true.
and their group of people who are doing the same thing they're doing that they know is on them. Yeah.
Mm,
And that's another thing, right? We live in a system where if a group that is not part of the majority does something wrong, it gets the whole group gets labeled. Yeah. So I remember Akala, yeah. And I love listening to Akala when he was on was it called Good Morning Britain with Piers Morgan?
mhm.
That's what it was correct.
I haven't seen that interview, I haven't seen, but I know he was on there.
Yeah. And they
Mm,
were talking about knife crime and black youth. And he made a point that in Glasgow they had the same issue with crime and youth, right? And Glasgow is, as we know, white. So he was saying, like, it's got nothing to do with color, it's got to do with the environment. And he said in Glasgow, their approach was holistic. They said, okay, we have a problem here. How do we fix this problem? We get people involved, we get like the community involved. Yeah, we attack this from a holistic point of view. And the reason why they would do that is because they're seeing their brothers, their sisters, their family, they're seeing their people. That could be my son, that could be my daughter, that could be my
that's
cousin,
true. And
right?
that's the key word. They are seeing people.
They're seeing people. They're
That's it.
seeing they're seeing people because they're mirror images of them. They look at
Okay.
they look at the people and think that could have been me. I could have gone off the rails. So what can we do?
Yeah,
But
but are you saying they're dealing with it like whether they were from any other country, they still viewed it as it could have been me, or just coming from us, they all white and they see themselves in each other. Is that what you're saying?
exactly, exactly,
Mm, mm,
exactly.
mm,
Whereas
mm,
now, if you're looking at these black youth or these Asian youth, yeah, up to no good, you don't empathize or sympathize with them. They don't look like you. They're not you. You don't think, oh, this person could have had a hard time or is a rough environment. No, you think animal, criminal,
mm,
dangerous. Yeah,
mm,
we're not even gonna bother.
mm,
Yeah. So like Carlo was saying, in one part of the country, there was a different approach to the problem than in another part.
yeah,
And
yeah,
no one ever said in Glasgow, white on white crime. We got to do something about this white. What is wrong with the white? No one. Color was never a factor. What it was there were youth participating in
yeah,
trouble, and we need to
yeah.
fix it.
Mm,
Yeah. But with any other different group, there's always a label attached to it. Black on black crime. knife crime amongst black youth. What is wrong with the black youth? That word, black. When you keep getting that toss at you in the news, yeah, black, it sticks in your head. So then that becomes a threat, animal threat. Yeah. So,
Yeah,
yeah,
sometimes when you keep hearing the news, let's say I'm driving, I'm listening to the radio, or you hear it on the news, it might not have an effect on you then, but then later, whoever is listening to that will automatically, subconsciously as well, always kind of feel a bit unsafe, you know?
yeah,
And even like, being raised in Edmonton, um, these kind of news can also make, let's say, older aunties and uncles, or, when they see a young black person, they'll probably think the same about them. And the
exactly.
thing is, they're both the same color, but it's like, oh,
We're all human beings and we're getting the same signals,
yeah,
and also, like if you look at it, if you watch the news or you open a newspaper and you see like there's a crime, what's the first thing you think? You know, like you think
where were they from?
oh, I hope they're not black. Why do you think that? Because the environment that you're in, you already know that if they are, just go to the comments. Just go to the comments of any article, and as a black person, just go to the comments. You see the vitriol. You see the, oh, it's always black. Black this, black that. These animals. You see it, and you go, you look at a news article and you go, who did it? Oh, it wasn't a black guy. Whew. Thank
Yeah,
God. But why should that be? It should never be like that, right?
no, no.
But unfortunately, in certain societies, and the societies that this applies to are societies that have histories of oppressing and demonizing groups. Yeah, there's no coincidence with that. There's no
Mm,
coincidence there. But if you have that signal sent to you all the time, you know, you start to believe it.
yeah,
Even like you said, you made a point just now. You could be black and getting that signal all the time, and you go outside and you see a black guy with a hoodie and you start to feel, oh man, I feel unsafe. But you're black too. So
yeah,
it affects everyone. And then ironically, yeah, while you're feeling unsafe about that person, there might be a white person walking towards you and going, oh my gosh, I feel unsafe. you know? So it's like, it's crazy, And the thing is, neither three are a threat, you know. Or to even go higher, the black person could hit the white person and go, oh, is this a racist? Is gonna. But each person is just a normal person going about their daily lives, you
it's
know.
true. It's true.
But yeah, and I before I make another point, is there anything you want to add to that?
Yeah. No, so I was gonna ask you a question later. So you finish what you're saying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I made a point about this in my book, Observation of People. There's something that I call the spotlight technique. And this happens in every country with minorities. If you have a minority of that minority doing crime, let's say 5% of that minority doing crime, if you put a massive spotlight on it, yeah, put it to its brightest, put a lot of neon arrows pointing at it, yeah, you would think that what you're looking at is reality.
Uh,
That's the majority. That's what happened. Oh my gosh, that's all
yeah.
you're seeing,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
and that's what the media does, because if you want to continue to demonize someone in a cowardly way,
Yeah.
you keep putting a spotlight on it
Yeah.
to keep
Yeah.
that fear there, to keep
To
people
keep it going. To keep it going.
to keep it going, right?
Yeah.
And then the problem is that new kids are born into that, and they will do one or two things. They will go, that's not me, and I'm going to try my best to be a good person, or they will take those signals and go, oh, that's who I am. Okay, I'm going to go over there and do crime, and you see what I'm saying?
Yeah. I might as well just get on with it.
I might as well just get on with it.
It's true.
Nobody is one thing. You are programmed to be a certain way, and then you make the decision from there. Where do I go?
Yeah.
Sometimes you don't make the decision. Sometimes your environment drags you that way.
It takes you there.